They won't see you when you start. They won't cheer when you grind in silence. But when you finally rise, they'll act like they always knew. Everybody wants to be seen, but nobody wants to disappear first. Everybody wants applause, but nobody wants the silence that builds the greatness behind it. The truth is, the best version of you is built in darkness. No cameras, no followers, no claps. Just you, your grind, and your decisions when no one's watching. Listen, the most dangerous moment in your life isn't when people doubt you. It's when you start doubting yourself because nobody's paying attention. That's when 99% quit. That's when people start thinking their purpose doesn't matter because they're not getting validation. But I'm here to tell you something. You're not invisible. You're in incubation. The seed doesn't cry because it's underground. It grows roots before it ever shows fruit. And right now, that's you, hidden, growing, becoming. You got to get addicted to obscurity. You got to fall in love with that quiet season when nobody texts you, nobody calls you, nobody asks how it's going, but you keep showing up anyway. You wake up, handle your business, and refuse to let temporary invisibility make you quit permanent greatness. Stop needing people to clap for you before you move. You're not in this to be noticed. You're in this to be remembered, and remembered people are the ones who didn't stop when it got lonely. Every dream starts with disappearing. You disappear from the crowd. You disappear from the drama. You disappear from comfort, and you appear only where progress lives. People will laugh when you say no to their parties. They'll call you weird when you go ghost on weekends. But what they call weird now, they'll call wise later, when your results speak louder than their excuses. You don't owe explanations for disappearing. You owe discipline to your destiny. Every second you spend explaining your silence is a second you could be using to build. Understand, there's a difference between being lost and being hidden. Lost people wander, hidden people prepare. Lost people waste time, hidden people invest time. So if you're hidden right now, stop crying about it. Stop posting quotes about being overlooked. You're not overlooked. You're under construction. The world doesn't reward effort, it rewards results. That means your work doesn't matter yet. But that word is power. Because if you keep showing up, if you keep stacking small wins, the day will come when what you built in the dark will be too bright to ignore. When you disappear for purpose, you don't lose people. You discover who was never meant to come with you. When you disappear for growth, you don't shrink, you sharpen. And when you disappear for focus, you don't fade, you forge. So today, make peace with the fact that nobody's clapping right now. Make peace with the fact that your name's not trending, your work's not viral, and your grind's not glamorous, because one day they'll ask how you did it, and you'll smile. Not because they finally noticed, but because you didn't need them to disappear. Go ghost on distractions, go quiet on comfort, and when you come back unrecognizable. You don't need motivation every day. You need commitment. You don't need hype, you need habits, because greatness isn't built in bursts. It's built in repetition. Everybody wants to win, but only a few are willing to do the same thing day after day when it stops feeling exciting. You can post your dreams all you want. You can write down goals, vision boards, affirmations. All that is cute. But when the excitement fades, when the crowd goes home, consistency is the only thing left standing between you and your greatness. Let me tell you something. Discipline doesn't care about your mood. Your purpose doesn't care if you're tired. Success doesn't care if you feel like it today. The grind pays those who show up regardless of how they feel. You think the best in the world wake up every day wanting to do it? No, they wake up deciding to do it. That's the difference between the dreamers and the doers. Dreamers wait for the right time. Doers make the right time. See, consistency isn't sexy. It's boring. It's repetitive. It's lonely. But that boring repetition builds unshakable confidence. Because every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you teach yourself that your feelings don't control your future. The reason most people never see results is because they quit in the gap between starting and seeing. You want results in 3 weeks for something that takes 3 years. You want recognition before you've built reputation. But the truth is, consistency is the bridge between average and exceptional. The first day, nobody claps. The first month, nobody notices. The first year, nobody believes. But when you refuse to stop showing up, the world eventually can't deny what's undeniable. You want to build a body? Show up when it's raining. You want to build a business? Show up when it's failing. You want to build confidence? Show up when it's uncomfortable. Because that's what separates those who say someday from those who say I did. You think you're tired. You're not tired. You're just inconsistent. Because consistency builds endurance, and endurance builds identity. You can't call yourself great when you only work hard on good days. You earn that title when you grind through the bad ones. Let me make this clear. Results are not random. They're the harvest of habit. And if your habits are weak, your results will be too. You can pray all you want, hope all you want, talk all you want. But faith without consistency is fantasy. Consistency means doing it after the motivation dies. Consistency means repeating excellence until it becomes natural. Consistency means you keep swinging until you connect. Every rep, every hour, every sacrifice, it all stacks up. One day, you'll look back and realize that the person you became was built brick by brick through every ordinary day you showed up. No shortcuts, no luck, just consistency. So stop asking for speed, ask for strength. Stop asking for quick success, ask for character, because the grind that's consistent will outlast the one that's convenient. Show up tomorrow, show up next week, show up next year, because kings aren't crowned. They're conditioned. Everybody wants to grow until they realize growth hurts. Everybody wants to level up until they meet the weight of the next level. If you want transformation, you've got to be willing to bleed for it. Pain isn't punishment, it's preparation. The universe doesn't test you to break you, it tests you to prove you. Every struggle, every failure, every heartbreak is molding you into someone who can handle the blessing you've been praying for. See, you think your pain means you're losing. Nah, your pain means you're being stretched. You're being expanded, refined, and forced to evolve beyond who you were yesterday. Pain is the classroom where strength gets its degree. You want to be stronger? You've got to lift heavier. You want to be wiser? You've got to go through confusion. You want to lead? You've got to learn how to lose. Every new version of you demands the death of the old one, and that death hurts. The problem is people run from pain. They quit the moment life gets uncomfortable. They look for shortcuts, comfort zones, distractions, anything to avoid discomfort. But the truth is, if you avoid pain, you avoid progress. Every champion you admire, they've all been through pain that would have broken weaker people, but they didn't escape it. They embraced it. They said, if this is what it takes, then let's go. Because they understood. Diamonds aren't born shining. They're born buried in pressure. You say you want success, but you can't even handle small rejection. You say you want to build greatness, but you crumble when things don't go your way. Stop asking for easy, ask for endurance, because greatness is not given, it's earned through resistance. The pain you're feeling right now is not permanent, it's purposeful. It's carving character into your soul. It's chiseling away weakness, laziness, fear. You're being built through the breaking. When you lift weights, your muscles tear so they can rebuild stronger. Life works the same way. That heartbreak is teaching you boundaries. That loss is teaching you gratitude. That failure is teaching you resilience. Pain teaches you lessons. Success never could, because success makes you celebrate, but pain makes you evaluate. Pain humbles you. Pain clarifies what matters. Pain separates the real from the fake, because the fake quit when it hurts and the real keep fighting through the fire. Stop praying for the pain to go away. Start praying for the strength to carry it. Stop asking why me, and start asking what is this trying to teach me? Because everything you go through is either growing you or exposing what needs to grow. You can't evolve without discomfort. You can't transform without pressure. And you can't be unbreakable if you've never been broken. So if it's hard right now, good. That means you're in the process. Every scar you carry is a sign you refuse to stop. Every bruise means you fought back. And every tear means you cared enough to keep going. Pain is the doorway to power. You just have to walk through it. Don't run from the pain, run with it. Let it build you, not bury you. Because the same fire that burns the weak forges the strong. The easiest way to destroy your potential is to keep breaking promises to yourself. The moment you say, I'll do it later, you're telling your future it doesn't matter. Discipline isn't about control, it's about honor. You can't call yourself committed if you only show up when it's convenient. You can't call yourself focused if your word means nothing to you. Because at the end of the day, discipline isn't about rules. It's about respect. Respect for your time, respect for your goals, respect for the person you said you wanted to become. Everybody talks about love, but the real love is self-discipline. It's choosing what's right over what's easy. It's saying no to comfort, not because you hate yourself, but because you believe in yourself enough to demand more. When you tell yourself, I'll wake up early, and you do, that's confidence being built in silence. When you tell yourself, I'll stay consistent, and you deliver, that's character stacking itself brick by brick. And every time you keep your own word, you become the kind of person who can be trusted with bigger dreams. You can't expect the universe to trust you with more when you keep dropping what's already in your hands. Stop lying to yourself. Stop saying you want it and acting like you don't. Stop talking like a lion but moving like a lamb, because discipline doesn't listen to excuses. It listens to execution. Discipline means you control the urge to quit. It means when the alarm goes off, you don't hit snooze. You hit purpose. It means when temptation whispers take a break, you remember why you started. It means when nobody's watching, you still give 100%. The truth? Discipline feels lonely, because when you start respecting yourself, you'll start losing people who don't. They'll call you too serious, too focused, too much. Let them, because while they're playing with comfort, you're building something permanent. You don't get disciplined overnight. You train it. Every time you do what you said you do, you strengthen your inner authority. You start realizing you don't need motivation. You need mastery. You need to become the kind of person who can trust their own grind. When you can depend on you, you become unstoppable. When your habits match your goals, life stops being chaotic and starts being predictable, not because it's easy, but because you've built control. You're not fighting the world anymore. You're leading yourself. That's the power of discipline. It doesn't just change your results, it changes your identity. You stop saying, I hope I can, and start saying, I will. You stop living for the weekend and start living for the mission. You stop waiting for the right moment and start creating it. So ask yourself right now, what would your life look like if you actually did everything you said you'd do for the next 6 months? You'd be unrecognizable. That's what discipline does. It rewires your destiny. Keep your word, keep your focus, because self-discipline isn't restriction. It's freedom earned through respect. The world wants your attention, not your growth. Every distraction is designed to make you forget your direction. If you want to win, you've got to learn the art of tunnel vision. You can't hit a target, you can't see. And most people don't fail because they're not talented. They fail because they're scattered. Too many tabs open, too many opinions, too many things stealing their mental space. Focus is rare. That's why it's powerful. If you can learn how to lock in, you can beat people with more resources, more experience, more connections, because consistency plus focus equal to domination. But the problem is, most people chase noise instead of results. They chase approval instead of purpose. They chase trends instead of truth. Focus means you're willing to look crazy to the world while you build something the world will eventually crave. Focus means you stop touching everything and start mastering one thing. Focus means you don't need to be everywhere. You just need to be effective somewhere. Listen, you can't pour 10% of your energy into 10 different things and expect 100% results. You've got to decide what matters and give it everything. Because divided attention kills destiny. You say you want greatness, but your habits say you want entertainment. You say you want impact, but your attention says you want distraction. You can't scroll your way to success. You can't multitask your way to mastery. You've got to choose your fight. Focus is a muscle, and most people are too lazy to train it. Every time you sit down and work when your mind says, check your phone, you get stronger. Every time you say no to something good to protect something great, you build dominance. And every time you guard your peace, you guard your power. The most successful people aren't the smartest. They're the most locked in. They know their lane. They stay there. They build there. And while the world's busy chasing the next shiny thing, they're quietly creating something legendary. You have to protect your focus like your future depends on it, because it does. Cut out distractions. Mute the noise. Disappear if you have to, because when you give something your full attention, it multiplies. Your focus determines your frequency. When you lock in, you start vibrating on a different level. You start attracting clarity, alignment, and the right people. Focus isn't just about saying yes to your goal. It's about saying no to everything that dilutes it. If you ever want to see how powerful focus is, take a magnifying glass and aim it at the sun. That same light that warms everything else burns when it's focused. You've got that power inside you. You just need to aim it. Stop chasing everything. Start mastering something, because focus turns ordinary energy into unstoppable fire. Talk less, work more. Let your results make the noise, because real power moves quietly. You don't need to announce your process. You need to perfect it. Every time you tell the world what you're about to do, you lose momentum, because words create comfort, but execution creates elevation. The loudest person in the room is usually the least consistent one. You ever notice that? People talk about their goals more than they chase them. They crave validation more than they crave progress. But the greats, they disappear and reappear different. You've got to build so hard in silence that when you come back, even your reflection doesn't recognize you. That's how transformation happens. Not in the noise, not in the spotlight, in the shadows, where no one's clapping, no one's watching, and no one believes. When you build in silence, you remove the pressure of pretending. You stop performing and start producing. You stop showing off and start showing up. And that's when the real magic happens. People won't believe in you at first. That's fine. Don't waste time proving them wrong. Prove yourself right. Because when the work is undeniable, you don't have to speak. Your results will. Silence is sacred because it keeps your energy pure. When you tell everyone your plans, you open the door for doubt, envy, distraction. But when you protect your vision in silence, it grows roots. It becomes solid, unshakable. You're not obligated to explain your grind. You're not required to share your every move. Let them wonder, let them guess. And when the time comes, let them watch. You don't announce your evolution, you demonstrate it. Because success doesn't make noise when it's growing. Only when it's finished. That's the law of momentum. So stop leaking energy trying to convince people to believe in you. Take that same energy and build something that forces them to. Because when your results speak, opinions get quiet. Be silent. Be consistent. Be undeniable. Because the world can ignore your words, but it can't ignore your results. When life squeezes you, what comes out shows what's inside you. Pressure isn't your enemy, it's your exposure. If you can hold steady when the weight hits, you're already halfway to greatness. Pressure reveals truth. Anybody can smile when it's easy. Anybody can act confident when things are smooth. But when the world starts closing in, that's when your real character shows. Pressure doesn't break the strong, it identifies them. And right now, if you feel like everything's heavy, like you're carrying too much, like you can't catch a breath, that's not a sign you're weak. That's a sign you're becoming, you prayed for elevation. But you didn't realize elevation comes with heavier air. You asked for leadership, but leadership means weight on your shoulders. You wanted success, but success demands stability under stress. You can't have greatness without gravity. Pressure is what separates potential from performance. It turns talkers into doers and pretenders into producers. You can't fake your way through pressure. It exposes the unprepared. So if you're feeling it right now, good. It means life trusts you enough to test you. Stop asking for easy seasons. Ask for stronger shoulders, because the higher you climb, the thinner the air gets. The more responsibility, the more resistance. But that's the cost of carrying your crown. When you face pressure, you've got two choices: crumble or convert. You can let it crush you, or you can let it forge you. The diamond didn't ask for comfort. It was created by being pressed, and every ounce of resistance was refining its shine. Pressure builds precision. It teaches you to slow your breath, steady your mind, and act with purpose. That's why the greats thrive under it. They've trained their nervous system to see stress as signal, not threat. So next time it gets tough, don't panic. Center yourself. Say, this is where I find out who I really am. Because while everyone else folds, you'll be the one who focuses. Understand this. Your breakthrough won't come when things calm down. It'll come when you learn to move through the chaos. Pressure will try to make you rush. Calm is your weapon. Focus is your armor, and faith in your preparation is your shield. When the heat turns up, that's when your training matters. When the world doubts you, that's when your belief becomes your advantage. When everything feels impossible, that's when your endurance earns its crown. Remember, pressure doesn't change you, it reveals you. And if what's inside is real, no amount of heat can melt it. Don't run from pressure. Rise under it. Breathe. Focus. Execute. Because diamonds are just coal that refuse to fold. Talent opens the door, obsession breaks it down. The gifted start strong, but the obsessed finish unstoppable. You can't teach hunger, you've got to live it. Everybody loves the idea of success until they meet the obsession required to achieve it. Obsession means you don't dabble in your dream, you devote your life to it. It means while others are talking, you're training. While others are resting, you're refining. While others are satisfied, you're still sharpening. Talent gives you potential, but obsession gives you power. You can be talented and lazy, and the world will never see what you could have been. But when you're obsessed, there's no off switch. You wake up thinking about it. You go to bed planning it. You live, breathe, and move with purpose every single day. Obsession is when you stop asking how long will it take and start saying as long as it takes. You're not checking the clock, you're checking your progress. You're not counting the hours, you're making the hours count. People call you crazy. They called every visionary crazy before they called him genius, because obsession looks like insanity until it starts producing results. Obsession doesn't mean burnout, it means alignment. When you love the grind as much as the goal, you're in your zone. You stop chasing motivation and start building momentum. You stop needing applause and start needing mastery. The obsessed don't seek balance, they seek breakthrough. They understand that for a season, obsession is the price of evolution. You can't half commit and expect full transformation. You can't kind of want it and think it'll magically appear. You gotta want it like air. You gotta crave progress more than comfort. You've got to be willing to lose sleep, lose comfort, lose distractions, all to gain yourself. When you're obsessed, rejection doesn't discourage you. It fuels you. Failure doesn't stop you. It educates you, and fear doesn't scare you. It sharpens you because obsession makes you unstoppable. It rewires your brain to see possibility where others see problems. It pushes you through pain, through fatigue, through noise. You think the greats had time for balance in the beginning? No, they built balance through obsession. They went all in until their dreams became their lifestyle. And that's what you got to do. Live it so deeply that your name and your mission become inseparable. So stop saying you kind of want it. You either want it or you don't. And if you do, get obsessed. Don't settle for potential. Demand power. Lock in. Burn for it. Because obsession is the heartbeat of the unstoppable. The loudest battles aren't outside. They're in your mind. You'll never conquer the world until you conquer yourself. Every victory starts with mastering your inner voice. You can train your body, build your skills, stack your money. But if you don't master your mind, you'll still lose. Because every single day, your greatest opponent lives inside your head. That voice that says, you're not enough. That whisper that says, you can't do it. That doubt that creeps in when no one's watching. That's the war that defines your destiny. People talk about enemies, competition, haters, but none of them can stop you if you win the war within, because the external world only mirrors the internal one. If your mind is strong, your circumstances don't break you, they build you. You've got to start catching your thoughts before they control you. You've got to start speaking life when fear starts shouting lies, because the moment you believe the wrong voice, you start building the wrong life. Winning inside means learning how to sit with your demons and teach them discipline. It means you don't run from fear. You retrain it. You don't fight emotion. You focus it. You don't wait for confidence. You create it through courage. That voice in your head that says give up, it doesn't go away. You just stop listening to it. You outwork it. You outthink it. You outlast it. until eventually it stops arguing because it knows you don't negotiate with weakness anymore. You can't pray for peace while feeding your mind chaos. You can't expect focus when your mental diet is filled with distraction. Guard your thoughts like your life depends on it, because it does. If you fill your mind with doubt, your hands will hesitate. If you fill it with purpose, your actions will follow, because what happens in you will always happen through you. You want to level up? Start changing your language. Stop saying I hope. Say I will. Stop saying I can't. Say I'm learning. Stop saying it's hard. Say it's worth it. Your words are commands and your brain obeys them. Winning the war within means silence becomes strategy. You don't react to everything. You don't fight every battle. You choose what deserves your energy. You stay calm in chaos and clear under pressure. The strongest people aren't emotionless. They're emotionally disciplined. They feel everything, but they let purpose lead, not pain. They let vision talk louder than fear. And that's how you win. You keep your mental garden clean. You pull out weeds of doubt every day. You water faith. You fertilize focus. You protect peace like it's your paycheck. When your mind is right, your world aligns. When your spirit is steady, storms don't scare you, because no external enemy can defeat a person who's already conquered the one inside. Check your thoughts, train your mindset, because victory always begins within. Hype fades. Hunger doesn't. You can't fake passion when life punches back. If you stay hungry, you'll never stay stuck. Hype is loud. Hunger is quiet. Hype is temporary. Hunger is timeless. Hype gets you started. Hunger keeps you going. Everybody's hyped when it's new, when the idea feels fresh, when the dream feels easy. But hunger is what carries you through the days when it's not exciting anymore, when nobody's watching, when nothing's clicking, when you're tired, broken, questioning everything. Hunger stays. That's what separates the ones who talk about it from the ones who become it. You can't buy hunger. You can't teach it. You got to feel it in your bones, that deep, unshakable desire to make something of your life. Hype says, I'll try. Hunger says, I'll die before I quit. You got to want it so bad that failure sounds like a foreign language. You got to wake up starving for improvement. You've got to feed your dream daily with sweat, sacrifice, and consistency. The reason most people never make it is because they're full of comfort, full of excuses, full of distractions. Hunger can't live in a full soul. You've got to empty yourself of entitlement and fill yourself with drive. When you're hungry, you stop waiting for opportunities. You create them. You stop needing motivation. You become it. You stop chasing likes. You chase legacy. Hunger doesn't let you sleep in. It doesn't let you skip reps. It doesn't let you settle. It whispers in your ear every night, you're not done yet. And that hunger, it's your advantage, because while others are getting comfortable, you're getting closer while they're celebrating small wins. You're setting bigger goals. While they're resting, you're rising. But here's the truth. Hunger fades if you don't feed it. Feed it with progress. Feed it with discipline. Feed it with reminders of why you started. Never let comfort seduce you into mediocrity. Never let temporary success convince you the journey's over. Because hunger is the fire that keeps the dream alive long after hype dies. Stay starving for better. Chase mastery, not moments, because hype fades. But hunger feeds your greatness. Excuses sound good until they steal everything you said you wanted. You can't build greatness and build excuses at the same time. Either your reasons win or your results will. Excuses are the enemy of execution. They're the soft pillow you rest your potential on. They make failure sound rational and quitting sound smart. But deep down, you know, every excuse is just fear dressed in logic. You tell yourself you're too tired, too busy, too broke, too late. And the longer you repeat it, the more it becomes truth in your mind. Excuses don't just delay your dreams, they destroy them. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to believe in you harder than you do. So stop handing your power to your excuses. You want success? Then you've got to divorce your excuses and marry your responsibility. Because every time you blame something outside of you, you lose control inside of you. Excuses sound smart until results walk in. Results don't argue, they just show up. So stop talking about why you can't and start proving that you can. You don't need perfect conditions. You need relentless commitment. You don't need everything figured out. You need to start moving, because motion creates clarity and excuses create comfort. There's always going to be a reason to quit, but there's also a reason to continue. And the one you feed wins. The greats had excuses too, but they buried them under effort. They could have quit, they could have waited, but they didn't. They moved anyway. So from this day forward, make a decision. Your goals deserve more than your excuses. Your future deserves more than your fear. You can either make excuses or make history, but you can't do both. Kill the excuses, build the evidence, because the world doesn't reward reasons, it rewards results. You can plant the seed today, but you won't eat the fruit tomorrow. Patience isn't weakness, it's emotional strength under control. The ones who wait with work win with weight. Everybody wants fast money, fast fame, fast success. But the truth is, anything that comes quick usually crumbles quicker. Real growth takes time. Real greatness takes seasons. Patience doesn't mean you're passive. It means you're prepared. You're not sitting around hoping, you're building while waiting. Because every delay has a design. Every slow season is shaping you for what's next. You want overnight success? Cool. But it won't last overnight? You want lasting success? Then build with patience. Because while the world is sprinting, you're strategizing. While they're chasing, you're constructing. While they're reacting, you're refining. Patience is the discipline of time. It's knowing that pressure plus process equal to power. Is choosing to believe in progress you can't yet see. And it's trusting that the small, unseen steps are adding up to something unstoppable. You can't microwave mastery. You can't rush wisdom. You can't fast track character. Every moment of waiting is part of the making. The seed doesn't complain underground. It just grows roots. It doesn't demand sunlight before it's ready. It builds its foundation first, quietly, patiently. That's how you've got to move. Don't confuse delay with denial. Just because it's not happening now doesn't mean it's not happening ever. The timing of your success isn't just about readiness. It's about alignment. Sometimes the door isn't open because what's waiting behind it still needs your future self, not your current one. Patience keeps you humble. It teaches gratitude. It sharpens your vision and refines your hunger. Because when you wait the right way, with work, with faith, with focus, you come out sharper, stronger, and unstoppable. The problem is we've been taught that waiting is wasting. But no, waiting with work is winning. It's in the quiet seasons that your roots get deep enough to handle your next level. If you rush it, you ruin it. If you force it, you fracture it. But if you flow with it, if you trust the process, it will all unfold exactly how it's meant to. So breathe, keep grinding, keep believing, because your moment is coming. And when it does, all the waiting will make sense. Don't rush greatness, grow into it, because patience isn't standing still, it's moving in faith. Not everyone deserves access to you. Your energy is currency, spend it wisely. The wrong crowd can drain what the right mindset is trying to build. Your energy is sacred. It's the fuel that powers your focus, your grind, your growth. And if you don't protect it, the world will drain it for you. Every conversation, every environment, every relationship, it's either feeding you or depleting you. You've got to start guarding your atmosphere like your future depends on it, because it does. You can't hang around people who don't value progress and expect to stay passionate. You can't surround yourself with negativity and expect positivity to flow naturally. Who you keep close determines how far you go. Protecting your energy means setting boundaries without apology. It means saying no to drama, to distractions, to anything that pulls you away from purpose, because not every invitation deserves and please reply. Some people love you but drain you. Some opportunities look good but cost your peace. And some habits feel comfortable but kill your growth. You've got to be honest about what serves you and what sabotages you. You can't be everything to everyone. And you shouldn't be. Focus your energy where it multiplies, not where it disappears. Because peace is productivity and clarity is power. The more you protect your energy, the more you attract alignment. You start meeting people who speak life instead of doubt. You start finding rooms that challenge you instead of cage. You start realizing that saying no is one of the most powerful ways to say yes to your next level. Energy isn't infinite, it's managed. You recharge through solitude, discipline, and self-respect. Don't let the world guilt you into burnout. Rest doesn't mean weakness, it means readiness. Protecting your energy also means protecting your thoughts. You can't keep replaying your past and expect to feel peace in the present. You can't keep feeding fear and expect faith to guard your mind. Because it's the first gate the enemy tries to enter. You are the gatekeeper of your energy. You decide who gets access, what gets attention, and how long it stays. That's not selfish, that's survival. When your energy is clean, your execution is clear. When your environment supports your vision, growth becomes natural. Protecting your energy isn't about isolation, it's about elevation. Audit your circle, guard your mind, because when you protect your energy, you protect your evolution. You don't rise to your goals, you fall to your habits. Your daily routine is the blueprint of your destiny. Change your habits and you change your whole life. Dreams don't work without structure. Vision without routine is hallucination. Everybody says they want success, but few are willing to build the habits that sustain it. You can talk about greatness all day, but if your actions don't back it up, it's just noise. Because habits build evidence, and evidence builds belief. Your habits reveal who you really are, not your posts, not your promises, your patterns. What you do every day when nobody's checking, that's your truth. If you're inconsistent, that's a habit. If you procrastinate, that's a habit. If you keep your word, that's a habit. If you rise early, that's a habit. Everything you repeatedly do builds or breaks your character. You don't have to overhaul your life overnight. Just start small and stay solid. One better choice a day compounds into transformation, because consistency is currency and habits are your investments. Discipline feels hard in the beginning, but freedom is its reward, because good habits make hard things easier and bad habits make easy things harder. Choose your struggle wisely. If you want to predict your future, look at your patterns. You'll never become what you don't repeatedly practice. So stop chasing motivation. Build mechanisms, systems that make success automatic, morning routines, planning your week, protecting your focus windows, feeding your mind with growth every day. That's how you rewire yourself. Your habits are forming you even when you're not thinking. So make sure they're forming the version of you you actually want to meet. Remember, you don't get what you want, you get what you rehearse. So every rep counts, every choice counts, every day counts. Audit your habits, build patterns that serve your purpose, because your routine today is your reality tomorrow. One day, you'll look in the mirror and not recognize yourself in the best way possible. All the pain, all the work, all the sacrifice, it'll make sense. You disappeared to become someone greater. This is what it was all for. Every sleepless night, every lonely day, every silent grind. You didn't vanish, you evolved. You learned how to control your focus. You built discipline when nobody saw you. You fought through pain. You mastered patience. You killed your excuses. You became your own weapon. Now you walk different, talk different, think different, because you are different. You don't chase validation anymore. You embody value. You don't need applause. You've built alignment. You don't seek shortcuts. You are the standard. The same people who doubted you will start studying you. The same rooms that ignored you will start calling you, but this time you won't crave their approval. You'll carry your purpose. You see, greatness isn't about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you were meant to be before the world made you forget. That's what this journey was, a return to your power, a resurrection of the unrecognizable you. Now, when they see you, they'll ask what changed, and you'll say everything, because disappearing wasn't running away, it was resetting. You stepped away to sharpen. You went ghost to grow. You didn't lose yourself, you forged yourself. This is your reminder. Stay hungry, stay humble, stay hidden until it's time to shine, because real power doesn't announce. It arrives, and when you arrive, let your presence remind the world what persistence looks like. You built your greatest version, not through noise, but through nobody knowing. That's how warriors are made. Unseen, unshaken, unstoppable. So now step forward, step into your light. You've earned it, and the world's about to meet the version of you that the struggle built. Disappear when you need to. Stay consistent no matter what, and build your greatest version until even you don't recognize who you've become. You disappeared, but you didn't quit. You stayed quiet. but you were building. And now it's time for the world to meet what the silence created. Every legend has a chapter the world never saw. Every success story has a season of invisibility. That's the part nobody claps for. The nights of grinding, the days of doubt, the moments when you had to push yourself through the darkness with no spotlight, no recognition, no applause. But that's where greatness is born, in the silence, in the isolation, in the discipline of doing the work. When it feels like nobody cares, you learn how to trust yourself. You learn how to wait, how to grind, how to believe when belief was all you had. And that's why your return will hit different, because your results will speak for you louder than your words ever could. You didn't need validation. You needed vision. You didn't need noise. You needed numb focus. You disappeared not to escape, but to elevate, to strip away distractions and step into destiny. And now your time is here. Your effort is about to echo through everything you touch. Your name will be mentioned in rooms you haven't entered yet, because you earned that. Not through hype, through hunger, not through talk, through transformation. So take this moment and breathe it in. This is your evolution. This is what consistency looks like. This is what disappearing for growth looks like. From this day forward, promise yourself one thing. You'll never stop becoming. You'll never settle for average again. You'll keep building, even when no one's watching, because the world doesn't need another person talking about dreams. It needs one more person living them. Go silent when you must, stay consistent when it's hard, and build until your results make noise for you, because legends aren't born in attention. They're forged in isolation. Disappear. Stay consistent. Build your greatest version. And when you return, make sure the world doesn't recognize you anymore.